Notifications are a great thing to have on your tablet to keep you up to date with all the things you need to know. Unfortunately, however, some apps get a little overzealous and bombard you with notifications which you don't even want. The main culprits are games basically sending you adverts through the notification system. Fortunately, there is a way to stop and disable notifications from individual applications. In this example, I'm going to disable the notification I get from a battery widget. To do this, go to Settings, Apps, and then find the application you are looking for. You will see at the top of the screen a tick box that says Show Notifications. What I will do now is untick this box and watch in the top left-hand corner as my battery notification disappears. And when I show my notifications tray, the battery one has disappeared. To put notifications back on, all you need to do is repeat the steps and tick Show Notifications again. You may also need to start the application itself just to kick the notifications back on. You should really only need to use this method as a last resort because there should be an option within the application itself to turn notifications off. The Nexus 7 comes with a default home launcher. That's a screen with your icons and widgets that you go to when you press the home button. The Android operating system allows you to change this launcher if you wish, and you can get different ones from the Google Play Market. Some are free and some cost money. You might want to change your launcher because different ones can do different things. For example, Apex Launcher allows you to customize your icons with different pictures. You can also change the grid size of the screen so that you can fit more icons and widgets onto your home screen. And you can also tilt the screen into landscape mode, which is something that the default launcher of the Nexus 7 doesn't allow you to do. When you have multiple launchers on your device, you may need to clear and choose a new default launcher. Here's how to do it. First, go to Settings, then Apps, and then swipe to All. You will then need to find the launcher you are currently using. The Nexus 7 default is simply called Launcher. Press on it and there you will find an option called Launch by Default. What this means is when you press a home button, it defaults to this launcher. So, press the Clear Default button. Now when you press the home button, because there is no default launcher, you will be given the option to choose a new launcher which you want to return to. In this instance, I'm going to choose Go Launcher HD. This launcher allows you to resize any widget, whether or not it's supposed to be resized, with interesting consequences. Now, I haven't yet chosen a new default launcher. If I press the home button, I will again be presented with the option to choose a launcher. So when I press the home button now, I'm going to select Always and choose my launcher. Now that the launcher has been defaulted, pressing the home button will simply return me to this default. To choose a new one, I would again need to go to Settings and clear the default. I've only shown you the tip of the iceberg when it comes to launchers, and each one does require some setup, but you can do some very funky stuff with them, so experiment and see what you can do. I've found a couple more quirky things you can do with the Jellybean operating system, so if you don't want to know what they are, look away now. First up, remember last time when I showed you that if you go to Settings, About Tablet, and then press loads of times on the Android version, it shows you a huge jellybean? Well, if you long press on this jellybean, it explodes into loads of little ones which you can fling around the screen. It's a bit like jellybean asteroids. And speaking of flinging, get some good practice in on this screen because you can do the very same thing with icons. Pick one up with a long press and then fling it to the top of the screen. This will remove the icon from the home screen. All Android devices come with a gallery application, which can let you view pictures you've either stored locally on the machine, is synced through the internet via connected accounts, and pictures you have actually taken with the device. What you might not know, however, is that the gallery comes with a couple of editing options. Go to a picture and press the three dots in the top right hand corner. This will give you a number of editing options, such as being able to rotate the picture and the ability to crop the picture if you want to. All you need to do is drag the blue borders to create the cropped picture. It saves as a new picture so you retain the original, which is handy as well. Of course, there are plenty of better picture editing applications out there, But for very quick and simple stuff, you need look no further than the built-in Gallery app. When people watch my videos, I'm often asked how to create folders on home screens. Well, it's very simple. Take these 3 shopping applications sitting on my home screen. If I long press on one of them and then drag it over to another app, the icons are surrounded by a circle. This indicates that if I let go, a folder will be created. You can then pick up other apps and drag them into the folder and drop them there. If you long press on the folder, you can move it, and if you tap on the folder, it opens up to show you what's inside. You can then tap on the lettering to rename your folder. In this case, I'm going to call my folder Shopping. Once apps are in a folder, they work as normal, so you can tap the app to launch it. To remove applications from a folder, tap to open it and then long press on the app you want to remove and drag it away from the folder and drop it. If you keep decoupling apps, eventually you'll be left with no folder, which magically disappears. This tip is all about giving you a visual feedback from your tablet every time you touch it. This will be displayed as a simple white dot, which you can see here if I quickly swipe on the screen. The reason you might switch this on is to aid you in drawing applications or diagnosing issues with the touch sensors on your screen. To turn this on, go to Settings, and at the bottom of the screen you will find Developer Options. When you go into the screen, you will have to turn Developer Options on with the switch in the upper right. As this is a developer tool, you will have to agree to the warning, but so far I have had no issues with this setting turned on. The option you want is Show Touches under the Input section. So watch here as I turn the option on and then off again. The Nexus 7 is pretty fast to begin with, but you can, if you wish, make it artificially even faster with some tweaks to screen animations and transitions. Go to Settings and choose Developer Options. You can switch on the developer options by swiping on the On button in the top right hand corner of the screen. You will be warned that this could make apps misbehave, so there's a little warning for you. Now scroll down to the Drawing section and you will find 2 options: Transition Animation Scale and Window Animation Scale. Adjusting these alters the speed at which apps and windows transition. So watch here as I put the transition animation scale to 10 and see how slowly the screen closes. And then watch again how slowly the screen opens. The window animation scale determines the speed at which options appear. So again, I've slowed it right down to illustrate how slowly options will appear within an application. Now, I've shown you here how to slow things down, but you can speed things up by reducing the transition scales to 0.5 or turning them off completely, although I don't recommend going as far as that. If your Nexus 7 is misbehaving, it might be a good idea to give it the proverbial cold shower, or in this case, a cold boot or soft reset. This will boot up the tablet from scratch, clearing any cache and other problems that might have got stuck during your day-to-day use with the tablet. To do this, first turn off the Nexus 7, then, when you are turning it back on, you need to hold the power button and volume down button at the same time until you are presented with the following screen. This screen gives you a number of options, including restarting the bootloader and recovery mode. Ignore these for now and simply choose the start option. You will need to use the volume buttons to navigate and the power button to select, as the touchscreen is disabled at the moment. Now, a little word of warning: when I've done this on the Nexus 7, it's sometimes taken 5 minutes plus to boot, and I've had to hold the power button down as well, sometimes for it to kick in. So I recommend using this cold boot if you're only having some serious issues with the Nexus 7. After a couple of weeks and months, you may start to notice that the battery doesn't last as long as it used to when you first bought your tablet. Usually this has nothing to do with a degrading battery, and it's more to do with software power management. As you add more and more apps to your tablet, this can change radically. To check how power is used on your Nexus 7, go to Settings and then choose Battery. This will give you a good basic breakdown of where all your juice is going. The main culprits should always be screen, idle tablet and Wi-Fi. So if your battery is being drained more than you think it should be, use this screen as your first port of call and get rid of any power hungry apps. Other apps like Facebook, Twitter and stuff that send you a lot of notifications will consume some power, but it shouldn't be that much. APK stands for Android Package Kit. Whenever you install an application from Google Play, you are in fact downloading an APK file. Now, I'm sure you've all encountered this problem on your Nexus 7, finding an app that states it's not compatible with your device. That doesn't actually mean it's not going to work, but Google Play is not going to let you have it. And sometimes you won't even be able to find the app, but you know it's there because you've seen it elsewhere or read about it. So how can I get this app on my Nexus 7? Well, if you have another Android device running an older operating system, you can try this. On my Samsung Galaxy S2 running Android 4.0, I'm going to download the CNN application because it's compatible with the device. This means that I have downloaded the CNN APK file from a safe and trusted source, Google Play. The next thing I need is a file manager application that's capable of making backups of other applications. In this example, I'm using ES File Manager, which is free. Now, in ES File Manager, if I go to the App Manager tab and then long press on my CNN app, I have the option to back it up. What this does is create a copy of the APK file in a folder called Backup. Now I have the source APK file and I can do what I like with it. And what I'm going to do with it is upload the APK file to a cloud storage app. This could be Google Drive, Dropbox, Box and so on. I do this by long pressing on the backup of the app and choosing the share option. As a little side note, don't try sending the APK file to your Nexus 7 via Bluetooth, as it seems to reject the APK files sent in this way. You can zip it and Bluetooth it if you want to, however. Right, back to the illustrated method. All I need to do now is go back to my Nexus 7, open up the cloud storage app on my Nexus 7 and download the APK file. Remember, because technically you are installing this outside of Google Play, you will need to have your unknown sources ticked in your settings. See my other video in the description on how to do this. And there we are, CNN is now installed on my Nexus 7. Now, of course, this method is not guaranteed to work. It may be the case that some apps misbehave or don't work as intended, and don't expect too much from camera applications. But if you do have two Android devices, one with an older operating system, and you know there is an app out there that you really want on your Nexus 7 but can't find it in the market, then try this workaround.